It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back to another Up North Journal Minicast.
Something you're going to hear in the next 3 to 10 minutes. Believe me, you're not going to hear anything like this on our main cast, but you're going to hear this on our Minicast.
You're going to hear it here and you're going to like it.
You're going to like it. And you know what? Something that's come up. We talked a little bit about it in the main show with the Ulu.
Talking about knives.
Talking about knives, though. And
what do you carry out in the woods when you go deer hunting?
you know,
You got a big sword?
no.
Do you carry a...
I would like
Do you
one.
carry a bowie knife?
No.
Machete?
Yes.
Do you got a deer with machete?
No.
Okay. You knew where I was going with
I
that.
knew where you're going with that.
What do you
but,
use?
You know, it's funny you say that because now, is the knife you use something of a heirloom traditional? You've had it for years?
No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I've heard some people do that. I used to carry the knife my dad gave me when I turned 14, I think it was, when I first year deer hunting season. I don't do that anymore. Right now, I'm using, because it's like a multiple knife, multiple selection. But NWTF 2 years ago, you signed up, you got a double knife set, one with a gut hook on it, and one was more like a smaller skinning type, and rubber handle. Okay. And they're orange. Mm-hmm. Found out that
that's important.
That's an important thing because I have used. I got another knife with me. I usually have two knives. It's a smaller knife, but it has a brown handle. Mm-hmm. I've dropped that before. I spent, I think, more minutes looking for that knife
than you did cutting the deer.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But no, those are the ones I'm using now. What about you?
I got two things I carry in my backpack, and they're in there religiously for the last 3 seasons. I think 3 seasons. One of them is, they're both from Rapid River Knife Works, and I've talked about them on the show before.
Oh, yeah. I've driven past that place
hundreds of times.
Yes.
Basically, Rapid River Knife Works, the guy that started that was a knife maker for Marble Knives in Gladstone, Michigan. And when they went out of business, he's like, well, I know how to make knives. I'm going to make knives. And he opened up his own knife shop.
It's more like a shop because it's not a big factory.
You been in it?
I've driven by it.
Stop in there, dude. I'm telling you what, man. It's incredible. It's a really cool place, and you know they grind the metal down and they temper it and shape it and everything, man. Make the blades and then make the handles, and it's just incredible. You know what they do.
They're each piece is a work of art, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I've seen the ones you have.
You know, mine's, what is it? Maybe the whole knife is maybe 4 inches long.
That's the one of them.
You know, it's basically a small Coca-Cola handle, real small. I mean, it's like maybe 3 fingers wide. Fits in your hand nicely, and it's got a big, heavy blade, tall blade coming off the tang on it, but there's a hole in it, so you can grip it with your index finger.
Yep.
So you get a good hold on it. It's also got a gut hook on it, but I've used that thing to open them up, clean them out. I've also used it to skin, and I've used it to flesh the hide. It was one of them things where, can I do this? Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can do it all in one with this knife, and I did. The other thing I carry in my backpack that's a must-have is a Rapid River Knife Work pack axe, and
that thing's pretty cool.
It's what, maybe 10 inches long?
I think at the most, 10 inches would be
8 to 10 inches.
Yep.
And it's a real small hatchet head. I mean, tiny, but it's heavy. And
it's got some weight to it. If you swing it.
Yeah. I mean, you can hurt somebody with it.
Absolutely.
And it's razor sharp. But you take that, once you get down to the point where you push both back legs on a deer open, you need to crack that pelvic bone. You just take it and you just tap it and you just snap your wrist one time and it splits that thing wide open.
Cracks it right open.
Yeah, it's a great tool to have.
That's awesome. I mean, those two things are I've seen those, and those are both works of art and razor sharp. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's fun to hear what people carry knife wise, or what do people have. I tell you what, the gut hook thing, it's a great
tool to have.
That's a great starter tool to have. At least have that zips them right open.
Absolutely. So that's the knives I use.
Cool. And now you got an Ulu to add to that.
Got an Ulu.
And I got an Ulu.
Ulu got an Ulu?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's what we got in our packs for knives. If you guys so choose, hit us on Facebook. Show us what you got in your backpack for knives and what you carry out in the field. That'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.